Hey, Cavs fans. Welcome to another episode of the Cavs Pick and Roll podcast, the only podcast that you are listening to right now. I'm Alex, and I'm here with Corey. How's it going, Corey?
Alex, there's 4 teams that I hate losing to. You ready? Detroit,
Right.
Magic,
Let's do
Knicks, Toronto. I am always in a bad mood whenever we lose to any one of those teams. And you and I had just watched the end of the Knicks game, which ended less than 2 minutes ago from us hitting the record button here.
Did you say Warriors in that list?
I don't care about the Warriors anymore.
What? Did you say Lakers in that list?
Nah. No, I care about losing the bottom of the barrel teams. And, unfortunately, the Knicks, we lost to them the last time we played them too. And the Knicks were on a losing streak. And, the Cavs were on the road, and you never know what you're going to get. And unfortunately, entertaining end to the game, but not one that went in our favor, Alex.
Yeah. Could have went a little better there.
You want to break down kind of what happened?
At the very end of the game?
Yeah.
No, not really. Do you want to break it down? I didn't
break
see
something.
most of it. I was like trying to get a stream to work for the past 10 minutes.
Well, I guess let's rewind a little bit then. This game was not in the Cavs' favor for most of the game. New York came out hot. They hit 9 3-pointers in the first quarter. Julius Randle hit 5 of them. I'm like, oh my God, he's a nice player, but he's not. I mean, he's shooting 33% for the season. It's like, how do you give up 5 3-pointers? And he probably finished with 7 or 8 of them, 30 plus points. And just the Knicks were kind of in control from the beginning. And the Cavs managed to get down only by 2 at halftime and went on a nice little run. The start of the third quarter actually got up 6, 8 points, something like that. But then the Knicks finished the third quarter going on a run of their own, and also a run at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and the Cavs got down double digits. The Cavs clawed all the way back, made it into a game, and then just the last 2 minutes of the game kind of just did not go in their favor. And I'm blaming it not on Julius Randle. I'm not blaming it on the lack of the Cavs defense. I'm just going to say it, Alex. It's the freaking Hartenstein curse. It's the Hartenstein curse.
It does seem like that, doesn't it? Like when he played for the Cavs, I liked Hartenstein, but I never felt like he was an overly skilled big man or a big presence. Like I liked him. He was good for 10 to 12 minutes, but why is it that when we play against him, he's like all up in our grill,
He saw his shot tonight because Mitchell Robinson didn't play for them, so he got some extra minutes. And Hartenstein made an impact towards the end of the game. There was a couple back-to-back attempts where Mitchell attempted to go to the rim towards the end of the game, wasn't able to convert. And one time Hartenstein blocked him. The other time Mitchell kind of just lost it as he was going up for a layup and it went the other way. And then at the very end of the game, Hartenstein had a nice put-back dunk that gave them the lead, that got the crowd pumped up. And then on the very last play of the game, Hartenstein blocked Mitchell again, which we felt that he got fouled. Hartenstein was well within the restricted area. There was a lot of contact. Not that it's going to matter, but I'll be curious to see what the 2-minute report says tomorrow when the NBA releases that. But basically, the Cavs were down 2. Mitchell drove to the hoop, drew a lot of contact, got blocked, managed to kick the ball out to Evan Mobley, and who still had about 2.5 seconds left on the clock, maybe didn't realize it, took a turnaround fader. That was a very difficult shot to hit. He had Garland, and I think it was a Curro or maybe a Levert at the top that he could have kicked it out to for a last desperate 3. But just not the way you wanted that ending of that game. I didn't even see anybody setting a pick for Mitchell or anything like that. So like it was kind of not a very well drawn up last play of the game. It was just give it to Mitchell and he's going to make something happen. I mean, there was no ball movement. There was no pick, no motion, nothing.
Yeah. ISO. They just went. Was there anybody on Mobley, like in his face when he turned around to take that shot?
No, but he was well past he was like at an 18-footer, 16 to 18-footer. There was nobody on him necessarily. Nobody that challenged the shot, I would say. And he's just so tall, no one's going to challenge his jumper anyways. It's just a tough turnaround fader. And I just don't think he realized that there was still a couple seconds left on the clock. So I don't fault him for that. It's too bad because he had somebody that he could have kicked it to that would have had a clean 3-point look. And just it didn't work out that way.
Heartbreaker.
So heartbreaker, man. And the Cavs have had a couple of those lately. And, this is game 1 of a 3-game road trip and not off to a good start. And, just the same old story kind of. There's the Cavs tend to struggle on the road for whatever reason.
Yeah, they do. I don't know what it is.
I don't know either.
Dominant at home, but they go on these road trips and it's...
Well, lately they haven't been dominant at home either, but part of that is probably, Mitchell missed a couple games. He missed 3 games. This was his first game back, which was nice having him back, obviously. This is actually the healthiest the Cavs roster has been all season. Since the last time we recorded, Ricky Rubio has made his comeback. Dean Wade is back. Everybody's back except for Dylan Windler at this point, Alex. So
I don't even know who that is anymore, Corey.
Yeah, I don't know either. But a couple Cavs players had a nice game. Allen had a nice game, 24 and 12. Garland was fine, 22 points, 6 assists. I think what kind of hurt the Cavs here, along with their defense, is just not a lot of bench scoring. Another game where Kevin Love doesn't give you a ton, unfortunately. Levert gives you 9. Okuro's not off the bench, but Rubio gives you 3. You know what I mean? Just not enough bench production. That probably would have helped a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, I don't know how many 3-pointers they ended up giving up, but they had to be at least around 15 3-pointers they gave up to the Knicks tonight.
Yeah, that's way too many.
It's hard to win a game in that kind of scenario. It just is. So not the way to start a road trip. Is there anything else you want to talk about this game? It's pretty fresh, but pretty frustrating as well. So
no, I mean, I didn't see hardly any of it. I'm just looking at a box score.
36 and 13 for Randall.
Jeez.
Yeah. And he just had a 30-point night against Toronto the game before, I heard. So, like I said, he's a nice player, but it's like I tweeted out, I'm like, why are we making Julius Randle look like Wesley Person out there? Like, guard the 3 ball. What are we doing, dude? He's a freaking power forward that, like, what are we doing here? Man, just rough. And nobody else really did anything that great. I'm looking at their box score as well. 16 points from RJ Barrett, 14 from Brunson. So nothing special. If you don't let Randall have that kind of night, this is also an easy win. So it's just unfortunate.
Yeah. I can only shake my head, Corey.
And take a swig of that drink, right?
Yeah.
What you got tonight?
I got a this is called Seven Brothers. It's a weeded bourbon whiskey, and it's from Ohio.
Okay.
So it's probably my favorite of the Ohio bourbons. I've tried quite a few. I like it better than Red Eagle or the Cleveland Whiskey Company, but it's a weeded bourbon. So if you like Weller, if you like Maker's Mark, it's you might like this one too.
Very cool. Alex only drinking the good stuff.
And it's distilled in Geneva, Ohio, right around the corner.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, let's move off of the Knicks game. So the game prior to this, Alex, was at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. And this was a game where both Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Mitchell all sat. Mm-hmm. So it was an opportunity for the Cavs to take advantage, basically don't let George Hill go off and, you should be able to win the game, right? They did let Drew Holiday go off. He put up 28, but the Cavs were able to secure the win. And Evan Mobley, had a career night, 38 points, 9 rebounds. That's a career high for him. Looked very dominant. And I thought the most impressive part, Alex, was that he did it without a single three-pointer and without a single free throw.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive to do that without having, like, he didn't get fouled once and go to the free throw line and
Yeah.
and make it. That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Plus 20. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's
38
crazy.
points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists.
Yeah, and that's what you want to happen when a guy like Mitchell is out or Garland's out. Like, that's what you need from Mobley. You're not going to get 38 every night, but that's just, you want him to step up, be more aggressive. And a lot of Cavs fans would argue that they want him to be more aggressive every night, not just when one of those guys is out. But it was just kind of nice to finally see that like breakout game from an offensive perspective for Mobley. So happy for him. He also got the junkyard chain after the game, which was a no-brainer, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. With Mitchell out, I mean, somebody's got to step up and take those shots and score some points. And usually it's LeVert. Sometimes it's Allen.
Mm-hmm.
That night it was Mobley. So, yeah, it's great to see. I mean, we all know that he can do that he has that potential. It's just a matter
Absolutely.
of him being aggressive and taking control.
Absolutely. And there was some other Cavs players that stepped up, this was some well-balanced scoring in the Cavs. They held the Bucks to 102 points. But Chetty and LeVert both chipped in with 13 points. Jared Allen, gives you double digits as he normally does. So it was just a good game. Rubio played 19 minutes. And we could talk about that real quick. So I don't know how much you've gotten to see, like how much you've seen of Rubio back yet. And I guess my take on it is I'm glad that he's back. He hasn't done anything real significant yet, but he's only 4 or 5 games back, and I'm just happy to see him out on the floor and out there just kind of running that second unit again. And I think it'll come. And it's a different team than it was a year ago. We don't need him to.
Yeah.
He had some big performances last year, and he doesn't need that kind of pressure on him, I don't think, with like Mitchell here and stuff. But what's your take on Rubio kind of being back?
Oh, it's great to see Rubio back. I think that was only like his second game back because his first game back was against the Grizzlies. He didn't play at all in the Warriors game.
I think he sat a he played a game or two, then he sat a game, and then
the
he
Warriors
played.
game.
Yeah. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's only his second or third game at this point, but I'm just glad that he's back out there. And again, he'll get into the flow of things, and it's just good. It's just good to have a healthy roster. Dean Wade is back as well, like we said earlier. So it's just good to have a full healthy roster and to be able to see what this team can do here with that healthy roster.
Right. Now Rubio just needs to get some minutes with the team and
exactly
get used to playing with these guys again. Yeah.
Get that run. The game before the Bucks was this one. I'm still mad about this one, even though I didn't put them on my list. I am still mad about this one, and that was the Warriors game, Alex. This was in Cleveland. Steph, Clay, and Draymond all sit this game, and the Cavs somehow managed to botch this and
I don't get that.
Lose this game. They also decided to sit Mitchell this game, probably thinking, they're sitting, they're three starters, so it's okay. Let's give Mitchell another game off, which is fine. The Cavs still should have been able to win this game, and even though Garland chipped in with 31 and LeVert chipped in with 22, the Cavs end up losing this game 120 to 114.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Poole for the Warriors had 32 points. It's like, how do we let Jordan Poole score 32 points?
Yeah, I mean, and Ty Jerome, I don't even know who that is, to be honest with you. He gives you 22. Both those players played 41 minutes. I mean, here's the thing, and I was talking to some people about this after this game had happened, and it's like these young guys in a scenario like this see an opportunity to get a little bit of shine, because I'm willing to bet Ty Jerome doesn't get 41 minutes a game when Steph is playing. I'm guessing Jordan Poole, who I know is part of the rotation, but he's not going to be the go-to guy when the other three guys are playing out there. So it's an opportunity for them to showcase their skills, get some extra minutes and just show what they could do. And they're pumped up and motivated to do that. And they gave them all they could handle, and it was too much for the Cavs to handle.
Yeah.
And you lose this game. And they had well-balanced scoring.
They shot 53% from beyond the arc there. I mean,
yeah, the Cavs the Cavs 3-point defense
perimeter
has not been stellar. I'm still I said this last time, and I heard on the broadcast today. I was watching the Knicks broadcast. I'm sure you were too. They had mentioned that the Cavs were number 2 in the league in defense, and I'll say the same thing I said last week. I don't know how. You gave up 120 points, to the freaking Warriors that don't even have Steph or Clay playing, and just every night you're giving up 100 plus. And I guess that just tells you where the league is at today. It's a scoring league. But yeah, their 3-point defense has been pretty poor. And tonight against the Knicks was another example of that. Jermichael Green gives you 13. Kuminga gives you 10. Like they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 players in double digits. You can't do that.
No,
you can't do that.
No.
So this is probably, I wanted to call this out too. Do you have any, I'll give you a chance because I know he's your boy. Any defense for Kevin Love? Because he has not been playing very well. Now, he did give you 12 points this game.
Yeah, I was going to say,
that's probably his best performance.
75% from the 3-point line there.
Probably his best performance in the last month or so. But he has not been contributing consistently like you would like him to. I think that's impacting things as well.
I would say he's not getting consistent minutes. I'd say that probably factors into it. He only had 9 minutes in that Grizzlies game, and then you play him for 21 in the Warriors game.
Yeah, there was some stuff that came out recently that his thumb is still bothering him. And remember when that injury happened, he played the next day and we're like, what? Okay. I thought he fractured his thumb or whatever. And then he sat a game, and then he's basically played since. Maybe he sat one other time. I don't know. But it feels like he's trying to play through the injury instead of just letting it heal. And I can understand why they wanted to do that, but at the same time, he's not producing, and it's almost like I'd rather if he had sat for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and fully heal, because he just doesn't look like himself lately. The last several weeks now, and I think that's hurting our bench production as a result.
Yeah, probably. I mean, our bench shouldn't be that dependent on Kevin Love, though. We've got to
K Love and Osman, man.
People step up, man.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, Warriors game, that was a horrible loss. That was just a punch to the gut, and kind of just one of those games where it's like, man, where are the Cavs at? Where are they at? I saw a lot of make a trade now kind of post after that game, and the Cavs have just been playing inconsistent. And I guess probably the last game we'll go back to is the another heartbreaker, Alex, the Grizzlies game.
Yeah, that one got me. That one pissed me off because we had that game in the bag. I mean, there was no reason we should have lost that game. Man, down by 1 point in Okoro. We have the ball. Okoro's inbounding it, and he doesn't inbound it in time and gets called for the 5-second and turns it over. Just giving the game away. I mean,
yeah, it's like how often I'm like, I don't know. It feels like the 5-second call is not something you see very often. I feel like the refs give some leeway there, but that's just, I don't remember where the Cavs had a timeout. Like, how does somebody not call a timeout if you had?
They were out of timeouts.
They were out of timeouts. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just a horrible way for that game to end. And I was psyched for this game, man. I wanted to see Garland and Morant. Still no Mitchell in this game. So, I wanted to see that showcase, right? And just the horrible way to lose the game. And just another one that just, it just kind of kills your confidence, man, when you lose games like that. Not only from a player standpoint, but from a fan base standpoint, because it's like, okay, where are the Cavs at right now? Like, are they they're kind of trending in the wrong direction at not a great time. There's still a lot of basketball left, right? But it's just, you want to see some consistency. You know what I mean? And I feel like we haven't really seen that all year long.
Yeah. Okoro was pretty cool, pretty good this game. He went 6 for 6, field
17
goal.
points.
Yeah, 4 for 4 from 3. He only missed his only miss was one free throw. That's pretty incredible for him.
Okuro's been playing pretty solid lately. His shooting percentage, his 3-point percentage has both been up, and he's been contributing more consistently. It's not every game he's putting up 17 points or anything like that, but he's played better lately, which you needed him to do, especially when Mitchell's out. You got to find someone else that can step up, and he definitely did this game. And the Cavs had well-balanced scoring here. 18 from Mobley, 14 from Allen. Just like you said, they had the game, and just the end of that game, just like this Knicks game, just kind of heartbreakers.
Yeah,
and disappointing.
All you had to do was make a shot. You had the ball. You had the time.
Yep.
All you had to do was score a basket.
Yep, and that's game. That's game.
That's the Knicks game. That's the Grizzlies game.
Yep. And just things sometimes won't go in your favor, and I get that. But a 5-second call, like giving away the game. Again, the last play of the game, I feel Mitchell got fouled, but that wasn't a well drawn up play. There was no movement whatsoever. And then I've seen some chatter every once in a while, and this will happen more if this continues to happen. But it's like, people start criticizing the coach when that kind of happens. Like, how do you let that happen at the end? How is that the last play that you drew up? You know what I mean? So it gets to a point to where Bickerstaff starts to catch some heat from the fans, and it just creates just chatter, right? And you don't want that to get too negative, and losing games like that, or losing games to the Warriors when they sit their stars, or losing to the Knicks again, like, it just adds fuel to the fire.
The back to that Bucks game quick. That was the Anderson Varejao tribute night.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? What do you think about Andy coming back? What is this? It's like 8th time with the organization now.
Yeah. You don't want to ask me that. You know my feelings about Varejao.
yeah, we talked about that. You're a
I'm not
Tristan.
a Varejao fan, like Team Tristan. Oh man. Well, you know what? Tristan, I'll take Tristan over Varejao any day. Varejao, he was a big fan favorite.
Yeah.
And I understand. I think it was all because of the hair, because the guy rarely actually suited up and played. I mean, go back and look at NBAreference.com and look at how many games he actually played for the Cavs. Yeah, he was with the Cavs for several seasons, but only played maybe 20, like 30 games every one of those seasons.
Kills me. 9 or 10 seasons, something like that.
Yeah.
With the Cavs.
And played a total of 50 games or something stupid. It kills me.
Are you talking about Windler, or are you talking about Varejao?
Might as well be. Well, Varejao, he did play a little more than Windler, but just a little bit.
I'm looking up his stats right now because I don't buy this.
Yeah.
I got to see how many games he played.
We should have traded him. I wish we would have traded him like 2-3 seasons before we finally did.
There was a time where his stock was pretty high, and they probably could have got a nice piece back, but I think he was a LeBron favorite, and 596
all the time.
596 games played over 13 seasons with the Cavs. I'm not good at math. I don't know what that averages out to. But yeah, I mean, I see, 25 games, 2011, 2012, 31 games, 2010, 31 games, 2015. Then he got traded. 2014, 26 games. So he didn't play 70 plus games every season.
Never.
He had one season where he played 81 games back in 2008.
He had 2 seasons
76
where he played
the season after.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's back with the Cavs. It's still weird to me that he played for the Cavs 2 years ago. Remember that whole thing where he randomly was brought back
Yeah,
for a little bit,
yeah,
and he
right.
suited up and played, and then he never kind of officially announced his
Played
retirement.
5 games. Yeah,
Right? Yeah. But he's back now as a player development coach.
that's cool.
I don't have any beef with that.
No, that's fine. That's good.
And he had a nice little ceremony during the Bucks game, like a 25 minute long ceremony where he, thanked the organization and the fans, and he's here to continue being in the city that he loves. And like, it's kind of cool when there's somebody that comes along every once in a while and likes being here, and even after their playing day, still wants to be here. So
Yeah. Well, we
kudos to
kept
Varejao.
paying him for sitting on the bench and being hurt, so I'm sure he
No,
loves
no, no,
being
no.
here.
He's probably making a decent. He's probably making more than what he'd be sitting on the bench for anyway these days.
Probably, yeah.
So I wanted to talk about the trade deadline. It is rapidly approaching. I looked it up. February 9th, Alex. It's like, what's today? 20. It's like 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah.
What? What? It's like Christmas, man. That snuck up on me this year, and the trade deadline. It's like, man, I see like the ridiculous little articles that pop up, primarily from Cavs Nation. And it's like, okay, I don't even click on that crap. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, it just doesn't feel like the trade deadline is that close. And I guess I'll ask you this question. The Cavs just got back to being fully healthy, right? Are you on the team of the Cavs need to make a move and bring in a new body or two, or the Cavs need to see what they have now that they're fully healthy?
Yeah, I think the Cavs need to just stay pat and just get everybody that we have in sync and get the rotations down, just work Rubio into the system, just get everybody healthy. I don't see any point in making any trades. I keep seeing all these trades for Levert for Alec Burks or Levert for OG Anunoby, or it's like it's trading for what we already have or trading down. In my opinion, it's like I don't know. I just haven't seen any trades that I think help us. It's like I think what we have is good. We just need to get consistent.
Yeah. I think maybe I'll put a poll up on our Twitter page. I'm willing to bet most Cavs fans would naturally say they need to make a move. Because you know what? It's always fun, right? The trade deadline's always boring when your team doesn't do anything. So naturally, you're always going to say, hey, make a move. And obviously there's holes on this team. We've needed a small forward for 3 years now. It's great that Okuro's stepping in here and having a nice month. There was times when Chetty had a nice month. Doesn't mean he's the long-term solution, right? And I'm with you. I think now that the Cavs are healthy, I think they need to see what they have. And I also agree that it's primarily because you don't have a first round draft pick for like 8 years. You're not going to trade, anybody from the core four. So anybody you're going to trade is not going to bring anything back really significant. And like you said, necessarily better than what you have. Everybody wants to trade Levert because they don't like Levert and don't think he's very good. Well, what do you think you're going to get back?
Right.
You know what I mean? Dylan Windler, like, you're not going to get anything back for these guys. Chetty Osman does not have a high return rate. Just not. And especially right now, he's not getting solid, consistent rotational minutes, and he's not producing as a result consistently as well. You're just going to get another Chetty back. You know what I mean? Another Levert back. And I like Alex Burks, but I like Levert better. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be curious to see, can the Cavs figure something out? Can they package some second rounders and, Windler and someone else and, bring in a shooter, that, isn't going to be your sixth man by any means, but I would love to see a shooter added to this team, like a Doug McDermott out in San Antonio. I think that'd be a nice addition with the way the NBA is and, high scoring volumes and shooting. The Cavs aren't the greatest shooting team. You can always add a sharpshooter to the roster. So with that being said, though, do you still feel that the small forward is the hole that needs filled right now? Do you think there's any others? Like Rubio's back, so now Nato moves to your third point guard. Like, what do you think of our big rotation? Are you still good there, confident there? Is there any other holes that you see?
No, I still think it's just small forward. I mean, you're shuffling in Okoro, Osman, Stevens, right? It's like
Yeah.
those are three okay guys that are role players. They're not starting caliber
Yep.
guys. I don't think so. I think yeah, that's our biggest hole. And like you said, who is out there that we could get that could fill that, be that starting small forward, and what do we have to give up to get for him? And I just don't think there's anything there.
Yeah, you're not going to touch. Okuro's the only other potential flyer. If the Cavs wanted to make some sort of, I guess, splash, maybe they entertain Okuro in some deals, and maybe you can get some interesting returns back. But yeah, unfortunately, all those players that you just listed, none of them are the long-term fit. They all have their ups and downs. I'm going back to that like Bucks game. Stevens played 17 minutes, but he didn't score any points.
Yeah,
Grabbed a couple of rebounds, had an assist. And we like Stevens. We're fans of Stevens, but he has his moments, and he has his moments where he doesn't give you a lot. And same thing with Chetty. Sometimes he looks brilliant, and other times it's like, why are you even playing this guy? And earlier in the season, we were ready to be done with Okuro. So it's just, yeah, it's that never ending position that really, the Cavs haven't been able to fill for years now. And it's just unfortunate that, they're still searching, and they have to be delicate too on who they bring in, because, they're not going to be the top 3 scoring option. So you need somebody that's kind of okay with that too. Like, the one thing about Okuro, I think he's supposed to be a defensive player, right? Maybe at some point he could be your 3-and-D guy, right? If his shooting continues to improve and all that stuff and he sticks around. But that's the other thing too. Like Alex Burks, I think he's more of a shooting guard. He's not a small forward, but I'll just use him as an example. Alex Burks wants to score the ball. He doesn't want to be the 5th option on the team.
right.
You know what I mean? So you have to be mindful of what type of player you're bringing in too on top of it.
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to have Dean Wade back too. I did kind of leave out Dean Wade, but he plays power forward.
Yes.
But when you got Mobley at power forward, I want to see Mobley get lots of minutes. I want to see Mobley start stepping up more. I don't want to take too many minutes away from Mobley. And when I do take Mobley out, you're putting in Kevin Love, who, like you said, he's been kind of inconsistent and streaky lately compared to how he started off the season, where he was always good for a 3, right? But lately he
Yeah.
has been up and down. So, maybe you keep giving Mobley his 30 minutes or 30 plus minutes. And if you find time to split time between Love and Wade, I'd love to see Wade start getting more minutes, because he was really catching on at the end of last season. He was playing great defense and just spot up shooting threes. He was looking like a young Kevin Love out there late
Yeah.
last season. So I'd
Like
love
no,
to
just no,
see
no,
Wade worked back into the rotation more.
yeah, no, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but it kind of felt like a poor man's Kevin Love, right? Just because of the contract, but he was basically filling the void of what you kind of expected Love to give you on a night in night basis. And Wade has a proven track record to be able to step up and play a role, especially when there's a injury on the team. And now that we're healthy, I want him to play that role without there necessarily needing to be an injury on the team. And I think it's like Rubio. Wade has missed, I'll say, significant time. I remember when that injury first happened. It was projected to be a couple weeks. That turned into at least a month and a half or so. So, he's trying to work himself back into the rotation. And now that everybody's healthy, there isn't as many minutes up for grab versus when, Kevin Love's out and he could slide right in there and there's 20 minutes a game guaranteed for you, right? But I think I have confidence in Wade and Rubio that both of them will find their place again and be able to contribute to this team. And I think, once that happens, things will be clicking again for the whole team in general. It just takes pressure off everybody else when you have players like that doing that for you.
Yeah. Yep.
So the trade deadline, we'll have to keep an eye on that. February 9th is the day. We'll see if the Cavs make any moves or if they stand pat. And we'll see what ends up happening here over the next couple of weeks.
Yep. We got who we got up next? We got Houston on Thursday and Oklahoma City on Friday, both away games.
I was speaking of Houston. So I've been doing the posting of daily Cavs card, right? I've been doing that all month. I plan on doing it, until I can't do it anymore. But I'm. It's also been kind of fun because it's allowed me to kind of, go search to try to pick up some cards every once in a while. Find them on eBay for cheap, things like that, just to keep the inventory up to date and all that stuff. And speaking of Houston, I was like, you know what? I'm going to look up Kevin Porter cards. And then it got me thinking about Kevin Porter, and I was like, remember how that was a big thing when the whole Kevin Porter thing went down, and the Cavs moved on from him, and the fan base was very divided and all that stuff. I don't mean this in any kind of disrespectful way, but the Houston Rockets are like the worst team in the league.
Good. Good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know specifically what Porter's doing, and I hope he plays this game. I hope he's not injured or anything like that. And I'll be watching him closely if he is playing. But yeah, man, it just made me think of Kevin Porter Jr. because I was looking to see if I can find some cheap Cavs cards for him.
Yeah.
And
yeah, now you got me curious. I have no idea how he's been playing. I did hate to give him up because I thought he was going to be a really good player. It's too bad we couldn't make it work. And we gave him up for nothing.
He's played 40 games, so he's played most of the season, and he's averaging 19 points a game. He's a scorer, man.
It doesn't
5
look
assists,
like
5 rebounds.
Yeah.
Solid. I just know when I looked at the standings, I think the Rockets were not only the worst team in the West, but the worst team in the league. And that was a week or so ago, week and a half ago, maybe. But yeah, we're going to see Kevin Porter Jr. We're going to see what we're missing out on. Maybe he's the missing piece. Alex.
Well, he didn't play in their last game. Did he play in the game before that? Wonder if he's out injured or who knows.
Yeah. And like the Rockets, that's another team that makes me nervous because they're not a good team, right? They're a team that the Cavs should be able to, go in there and handle pretty easily. But it's a game on the road. It's a young team. And it's just, you catch them on the wrong night and you can lose to anybody in the NBA. Same thing with the Thunder. Thunder's not a great team, obviously. They have like 35 first-round draft picks over the next 3 years. So that's what they're banking on. But just another young team that, has some pieces that can go off. And the Cavs, got to find a way to not go 0-3 or something crazy, like 1-2 on this road trip. Because the Knicks, Rockets, Thunder, not a single one of them is a playoff team this year.
Yeah.
You can't have that happen.
Houston has Eric Gordon. I didn't know
he's
Eric
still out there,
Gordon
man.
was still in the NBA. He's got to be like 100 years old.
He's still around, man. I remember him being in trade rumors last year. Maybe this year he finally gets moved. I think there were some Cavs fans that wanted him. I remember. Who's the other young guy that they drafted? Was it Jalen?
Yeah, Jalen Green.
Jalen Green. Yeah, that's the guy I idiotically said I wanted over Mobley way back when. Once upon a time.
No, I mean, he's a good player. He's still a good player.
He is. It's just they're a young team. They need some veterans and stuff like that. I guess I'm just trying to point out, like, Yeah, it sucked to move on from Porter, but it's not like he's taken over the league, or anything like that. So um, until the Rockets turn into a good team, he's not going to get a lot of spotlight on him. I don't think.
Boy, he would have been a good, yeah, good two next to Mitchell or Garland, though. Oh well.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. So Alex, it's 2023, and I was thinking, I need a new calendar for like my home office. And I was searching online for some calendars, and sometimes I'll get like a gaming one. And I was like, well, I had that last year, so I don't want that. And I was like, oh, I'll get a Cavs calendar. So I find one on Amazon. It's horrible. It's horrible.
What do you say that? Did it have players on it or just logos or what is it?
No. It had players on it, but like Mitchell's not even on it. Marketing's still on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like it's very outdated, is what it is, and they just repeat several players. Like I think Chetty's on there twice. It's like why? You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm not buying this crap. You don't even have Donovan Mitchell on there. Get out of here. And I thought to myself, I was like, well, for like the last 6 years, I want to say, I always make a calendar, like a custom calendar for like my family and stuff like that, like kids' pictures, vacations, kind of that crap. And I'm like, why don't I just make my own Cavs calendar? And when I get an idea, I got to always spice it up. And not only did I make a custom Cavs calendar, which I'll put some pictures on social media.
Sounds like you're breaking any copyright laws, and Interpol's going to come after you here, but continue.
Right. But what I decided to do was for the first like 5 or 6 months of the year, I decided to have it a different theme, like a different era of Cavs basketball. So like the month of January is like that when the Cavs first existed, 1971 to like 1981. That true wine and gold years, the Austin Carrs, the Campy Russells, the Lenny Wilkins, Nate Thurman. And like, I have it set up so that the color scheme, the logo from that time frame is there, and the players from that time frame is there. And then the next month it moves into the 80s, World Be Free, Phil Hubbard, the orange and blue, and so on and so forth. And I do that all the way up till like the championship year. And it just looks really cool. And I've showed a couple people it, and they seem to really like it. And I wish I could order more calendars, or just everything's just so expensive these days. I'm not paying like $40 for a calendar. But I'll get you one, Alex, next time they come down in price a little bit. And I wanted to share that because I thought it was pretty cool.
That sounds awesome.
And, yeah. And with like the later months, like after I ran out of eras, like when we get to June, well, obviously the Cavs once upon a time won a championship back in June, back in 2016. So it's all like the championship stuff. I have one of like the future, like the team now, with Garland and Mobley, and just kind of different themes for each month. And another reason why I really did it too, though, was, and this is what probably took the longest, was I put every single Cavs game on the calendar, like the schedule on there.
Oh wow!
So I can look up and say, oh, the Cavs play the Knicks tonight at 7:30. It's in New York. Okay. Like I don't have to go look up the schedule on my phone or I used to print out the schedule, put it on my fridge or whatever. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go that extra mile.
Damn, dude.
Took a long time. I think the whole thing took me almost 4 hours to do the whole thing.
You need to wait until they have some sort of promotion and then buy these things in bulk and open your own Amazon store. You'll sell these things like hotcakes. There you go. It's just genius.
I can't believe how piss poor of a calendar there is for the Cavs, and I'm just like, what the hell, man? I can make something better than that.
Man, go even a little step further here and put the promo nights on there. Like, what nights are the bobblehead nights?
Yeah. I was trying to get like, because like on the real calendar, it'll have, what is it, like in red if it's a home game and gold if it's away, or maybe it's vice versa. I tried to do all that. There was some limitations on what I was able to do with the company I used, but like I started this like in the middle of January. So I was kind of rushing to get something done, but I'll definitely do some more research, and next year I'll have to come up with some different ideas of what to do. I think this is going to be a yearly thing now, Alex. I had too much fun doing that, getting all the pictures for it and the color schemes and the logos. And yeah, it was fun putting all that together.
That's awesome.
So. Yeah, good stuff. So, Alex, is there anything else you wanna mention? You wanna flash the card just to
flash my shirt here.
flash
This
the
is
Cavalier shirt?
the
I
Cavs
haven't
shirt.
seen that one.
Yeah, this is the one my wife got me for Christmas. It's every time I see
Like a
this,
smoke. It looks like a smoky background on it almost. Like
every
a
time I
smoky
see
gray.
this font, it reminds me of the Nirvana font. I think that's a pretty cool
nice.
shirt. Yeah. Oh, flash the card. Yeah. Let's flash the card.
Yeah. Got to show Bill.
Boom. Bill
there it
Lambier.
is. Yep.
Dunk that ball. All right.
Dunk that ball.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, there it is, Cavs fans. Thanks for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you listening and checking out the pod. And Alex, you want to let them know where they can go ahead and follow us and connect with us.
Follow us on Twitter at Cavs Pick and Roll. You can see Corey's daily Cavs NBA card. Shoot us an email, cavspickandroll@gmail.com. Instagram. You still doing Instagram?
I'm still posting there. The
You're
cards are there
posting
too.
on Instagram too. All right, we got a Facebook page. We got Tumblr. What am I missing here?
Do we say YouTube?
The YouTube channel, of course.
Yeah, video podcast. You can watch us while you listen to us now. Check us out. Yeah, we're everywhere.
That's it. Wherever you're listening, click like, click subscribe, leave us a rating, a review. We'd appreciate it.
All right, Cavs fans, there it is. We will talk to you again soon.
Peace out, Cavs fans.